Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi, and she yells, "Oh, girl, you gotta hear this one." A man was arrested for running a theme park, and when they said, "Where's your license?" he said, "My dog ate it." Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one." Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, "You'll never guess who's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up." Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one."
All caps means you're either panicking or trying to represent yourself in court. Both are mistakes. Your feelings are adorable, but they're not admissible, persuasive, or even interesting without evidence. Yes, Heather hates immunity doctrines. It's a personality trait at this point. You don't need to remind her, she wakes up angry about it. Bring receipts. "No, I heard it from so and so." This is quid pro quo, not next door. Screenshots are statutes only. Don't fight each other. Fight the law. It deserves it more. If you're offended, excellent. That means you're awake, paying attention, and probably new here. No diagnosing the host. She's petty, not pathological. And don't diagnose anyone else. Stay in your lane, please and thank you. Do not summon the mods. They're tired, hangry, and may bite when provoked. Disagree loudly if you must. The algorithm eats drama for breakfast. Just keep it cute while you argue wrongfully. If you're taking screenshots of my chat, touch grass, tell your handlers. I said hi and find a hobby that isn't me.
Alright guys, we got a lot to get into today and not a lot of time. We are going to go over quite a few things today. Everybody has probably seen it, but Levy County finally is giving Bubble Brain, or Beelzebubbles, whatever you choose to call him, an accountability kick in the ass. Will it last? Also, we have the updated bankruptcy documents from Lynette, including one that was dropped last night, so we will get into that. We have a lot to get into, not a lot of time. I am wearing my blue blocker glasses, and thank you, Ninja Puppy, for purchasing these for me from the Amazon list, because you are amazing and I am getting old as F. However, today we've gotten into it because I went to the gym for a workout and walked out with another job. So I am thrilled about it. However, my schedule just got even busier than it was before, and I am loving every second. So we yet again will have to do some schedule adjustments on Tuesdays and Fridays. Anyway, let me say hi to chat real quick. I saw a comment in there that says I'm not old. Annie M, thanks for getting us started today with 5 gifted Squid Pro Quo memberships. And thank you for ensuring that I don't work for free because, you know, oh, and the little is officially registered for school. News this morning. Talked to the school this morning. But Heidel, thanks for being my super mod. I love all my mods for different reasons, but Heidel is the mod who will share my stream everywhere and anywhere that she is allowed to, and it is amazing and I love it. And yes, just remember, this is my opinion. This is not necessarily fact, except for what we read in here. We don't do a lot of speculation here because I suck at it, and if we speculate, my cognitively impaired brain remembers the speculation and not the facts. I also I'm unemotional. I forget how to show emotion. So we handle things here like the judge was seeing them. We are not the judge, jury, and executioner. However, we stick to what the judge sees because if we look at what the judge sees, we stay less biased. If we start getting involved in the drama that everybody knows is going on offline, we get personally involved, emotionally involved, and I don't have time for that. But Deborah, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry if I don't say say hi individually, but I saw Wes and Bama's all the best. I actually signed someone's going away card at a former job I had. All the best. They really like that person a whole lot, if you can tell. The mods here don't bite. They nibble but never bite. Yeah, it depends on which one and how much you piss them off. All right, and Captain Kern, good to see you. Harry. When I saw Wes's comment about late in rackets, thank you for comparing me to rackets. Even if it's the worst possible reason, me being late, being former military, late is, or on time is late, early is on time. Late is anxious, anxiety inducing. But it's the way we run around here these days. So, Heather, good to see you as well. And Timothy, freaking screw to being a butt today. Hello, everyone. Yes, and please make sure that you are still subscribed and you have clicked the bell for notifications because I talked to a bunch of people today that said, I don't know if I'm still subscribed and I haven't gotten a notification for you in weeks. Well, I'm here. I've been here. And YouTube is asshole. Harry, thanks for the 5 Squid Pro Quo memberships. I appreciate you very, very much. And Marcus, hey, good to see you catch a live stream. Thanks for being a member for 13 months. It's a baker's dozen around here. All right, we are going to get started with everybody's favorite, or what I believe everybody's favorite will be, and that is Bubble Brain finally getting some freaking accountability. So there's a couple. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 documents open right now. So excuse me for looking a little freaking lost and confused for a second. I had to close all of my tabs from yesterday. If you didn't catch us yesterday, we went over some of the stuff from the LaGuardia plane crash. So finally, some accountability. What we've all been waiting for. Yes, our favorite long desired thing, sanctions for Triple B. Yes, and hey, Thursday Angel, how are you? Love from the Netherlands. Love you all. I haven't received notifications in months. Yeah, and I've been trying to post my streams a little bit earlier, so that if you don't get notifications, you at least maybe see an upcoming stream in your For You page. That's the TikTok stuff, but in your recommendation page, we'll see. All right. Order. This is the Levy County case. Just to make sure we're all clear, those of you who haven't been following or haven't seen this yet, most people have, but Levy County. There's a lot of cases, so we like to keep them straight. order granting motions to strike unauthorized communications and sanctions for unauthorized practice of law. Yes, because lips, just in case you or one of your alter egos is watching, this is the unauthorized practice of law. Reading documents that are posted online for the public is not the unauthorized practice of law. The fact that I have to tell a lawyer or a former lawyer because you are stupid what the definition of practicing or unauthorized practice of law is fucking sad as hell. You are sad, you are pathetic, get a life, and stay out of my comment section. Thank you very much, because I will air your dirty laundry all over the fucking internet, because you're a bitch. All right. This cause came before the court December 17th of 2025. Defendant Jeremy Hales motion to strike unauthorized communications and sanctions for unauthorized practice of law, and the court hearing argument of counsel and being fully advised in the premises, it is hereby ordered and adjudged. Defendant motion is granted. The court finds that Bruce Matskin is not licensed to practice law in Florida. Bruce Matskin should not, my opinion, should not be licensed to practice law anywhere, because if he were my client, if I was his client, I would sue him for false representation, like anything that I could possibly see, because dude, you are stupid. You are stupid. You are self-absorbed. You are not smart enough to separate yourself from the situation. Just saying. And that's the thing. I'm in a really good mood today. Really good mood. I'm in a really good mood. With that being said, he's not licensed to practice law in Florida and has not been admitted pro hac vice in this matter. The court further finds that Bruce Matskin has engaged in communications with the court and the parties in this case, including emails dated October 6th and October 7th and October 9th. We read all three of them on here, and you've probably seen them on a multitude of different people's streams, which constitute the unauthorized practice of law, a third-degree felony per Florida Statute 454.23, referable for prosecution to the Florida Supreme Court. Snipe Hunter, I was not sassy in Mo's chat this morning. I was not. Yeah, my opinion, she's a dumb cunt. Excuse my language. Like, and she was in my comment section with one of her alter egos, referring to herself as lips. The funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. So what did I do? I commented back and posted the responses and the comments on Facebook. Because, you know, what else would I do? All communications, including emails and any legal documents sent or prepared by Bruce Matskin in this case, are hereby stricken from the record. Bruce Matskin is hereby admonished for engaging in unauthorized practice of law in Florida without proper admission to the Florida bar or pro hac vice admission in this case. Matskin is hereby enjoined from further communications with the court until properly admitted pro hac vice, pursuant to the rules of general practice and judicial administration, or associated with Florida counsel who actively participates in the matter. This is the one who, this number 7, my lucky number, is what I really like. All this other stuff, yeah, it's fine, great. But plaintiff Michelle Preston is hereby ordered to identify to the court and to all parties the name of anyone not licensed to practice law in Florida and has not been admitted pro hac vice in this court who gives legal advice to her in matters this court or drafts paperwork on her behalf, which is then submitted to the court in the future. Give it up. Anybody who's helped you who's not a lawyer. I'm here for the Princess of Petty. Long may she reign. Yes, I am not Queen Petty. That is Charlotte Dobre. She keeps that title as queen, but I'll be Petty Princess all day long. Ah, like it. Thank you for contacting the complaint department. Press 0 to speak with the team. So always remember they're in focused meditation. Training, leave a message and we'll return with your call in the next never days or beep. Oh yes. There's a phrase that I saw the other day too that I just have to Google real quick. Um um there we go. Uh, all right. That is that number 7 is what is great because give it up, Michelle, give it up. Whatever you want to be called, I will call you Michelle. I don't give a shit. I will call you a damn tree if you want to be called that. However, give it up. Give up the names or the AI programs and don't lie. The court reserves jurisdiction to enforce the terms of this order. 18th day of December 2025. I mean, yay. Yay. So there's that. I have to close all these because if I don't close them, I will confuse myself because at the end of the day, I still am brain damaged. Will fully admit that I'm brain damaged though because, 3 head injuries, brain damaged. All right. And hey, Debbie Webb, how are you? I see you. Squid, do a happy dance. She'll say it's all JH's fault. Well, guess what? Whether it's JH's fault or not, too fucking bad. Even if it was Jeremy's fault, oh well. Suck it up, Buttercup. Grow a pair. Learn to be an adult for the first time in your extended life. I don't know. I'm sassy today, I guess. Like, Empress of the brain damaged underworld of petty. That's very wordy, but the pond at the house is stocked and you're allowed to catch and release. Oh. Yay. Oh. That just made me even happier. All right. So this one, order granting defendant's motion for sanctions. Let me make it just a tad bit bigger. And thank you to the person who sent these to me. I very much appreciate it. These are not these are state documents, so they're free, but they're still Levy County is just a little bit of a pain in the butt to get to. Sassy Squid, I love it. It's just me. Like, And Timothy, thanks for the 5 Squid Pro Quo memberships. I appreciate you very, very, very much. Is it really? Like today, I am not any different than I am. I am in a really, really good mood today. I'm a little rushed, but I'm in a really good mood. I slept great last night. I got a great workout. I got a new job, another new job. So that makes like 5. This one I'm thrilled about. So life is good. Life is good. All right. Came before the court on December 17th, a motion for sanctions pursuant to Florida statute section 57.105, filed by defendant Jeremy Hales, Martha Risk, and Larry Foreman. This one you can blame Jeremy, but that's okay. He don't care. Yeah, everything put me in a good mood except for your text message. Through no fault of your own. Like, you didn't piss me off. People or people that are supposed to be helping you that are not helping you pissed me off. So, but we will get to that. Um, and I will see if I can make some phone calls and see if we can get some people fired. You know, I still think you should call the Department of Professional Services in Wisconsin and report their license numbers, because no therapy staff should act like that. Just saying. Derail scroll. Look at DM. Oh no. Oh no. Nice. Look at DM. Captain Crane, congratulations. Yeah, I know they reflect my screen, but there's nothing on my screen except for documents. So, they're blue light blocking, so I don't technically need them, but they really, really help. Squid yelling at Spawn Trooper is not a job. Well, it is kind of hard work, but that's fun work too. All right. The court, having reviewed the court filings and heard testimony, makes the following findings of fact. This is the second document. This was technically document 110, and there was 109, but I feel like this document should have been first. August 16th, plaintiff filed a complaint for injunction and damages under Florida Statute 540.08. August 27th, defendant served a 21-day safe harbor letter and unfiled motion for sanctions pursuant to 57.105. Upon plaintiff's counsel, the motion asserted that plaintiff's complaint asserted no basis in fact or law to proceed under 540.08. The footnote. Somebody was never served. Radis. Yep. Radis was never served. I wonder why. Plaintiff did not respond to defendant's motion for sanctions, nor did she withdraw her complaint within the 21-day safe harbor period. Defendants filed their motion for sanctions September 18th. Plaintiff further failed to respond at all to defendant's discovery request for all evidence in support of plaintiff's complaint, as well as a subsequent motion to compel discovery. It's like she tried to ignore it, and it's not. Things with the law are not ignore them and they will go away. No, generally, if you ignore the law, things will get worse. Things will get worse. Just saying. Oh, yeah, I wonder where he was. Do you have any idea? Hey, Dangerous Waves, good to see you. Oh my God. Plaintiff was properly noticed for the hearing set December 17th, but did not appear. Defendant's counsel indicated he received an email from plaintiff the day before the hearing that she did not intend to appear. On a prior occasion involving a hearing that had been properly set and noticed, plaintiff informed the court on the eve of the hearing that she did not intend to appear. Stupid. YouTube unsubscribed you. Weird. Weird. Well, glad to see you. YouTube and or people, about 40 of them unsubscribed when I said I wasn't going to talk about this case as much. Castaway. Levy isn't the only county living in the 40s and 50s in North Florida. I worked at a race-related homicide back in the early 80s at a bar at the Florida-Georgia border. Walked into the bar with, and I'm sure there's more. Hey, Selena, how are you? Sign saying, Jesus. I'm still, what? Like, we all bleed red. Why does anybody care? Like, I just, I don't know. So dumb. All right, the court proceeded with the hearing December 17th, 2025, as plaintiff provided neither good cause nor any reason whatsoever for her absence. Because of the automatic stay resulting from plaintiff's bankruptcy filing during the proceedings and after review of defendant's memorandum of law, regarding the court's authority to proceed on the issue of sanctions, notwithstanding the stay in bankruptcy, as well as the court's independent research, the court proceeded with sanctions hearing on the issue of entitlement only. At the hearing, the court admitted into evidence the documents pertinent to defendant's sanctions motion, took judicial notice of the case law provided by defendants, and heard the testimony of defendant's attorney, Randy Shockett. Or Randall, as the judge says here. The court finds that defendants have clear entitlement to attorney's fees pursuant to Florida statute section 57105, 1A and B, as plaintiff and her then counsel, Stark, knew or should have known that there was no legal or factual basis for plaintiff's complaint based on the existing law applied in the facts in the plaintiff's complaint. Yes, this is one of those things that you cannot just file a lawsuit because somebody said something mean to you or you didn't like what they did. Like, there has to be an actual legal basis. You can't just go around filing lawsuits because somebody hurt your feelings. Because everybody has feelings and they change minute to minute, and you can't make decisions based off feelings because those who make decisions based off feelings have a very rough life. Just saying. See certain things that have gone on in the past year-ish where people get overly emotional and end up saying shit that they should not have because they're emotional AF and pieces of work. Let me tell you. Just saying. Holy shiza. The bar owner ended up unaliving himself before trial. Couldn't go over being arrested for. Well, usually when people, most of the time when people take their own life, it's a very sad situation. That person, go to hell. I don't know. That person can go wherever that they need to go to get their karma. Because karma's a bitch and she always keeps her receipts, as evidenced by the last week. Unknown Hero, thanks for the 50 gifted Squid Pro Quo memberships. Thank you for keeping the chat green. Oh, and thanks for reminding me that I really need to do a members only live. Members only. Unknown Hero, thanks for the $5 super chat. Paying the gray away. I had to make sure I said that right. Because get green, chat. Oh my goodness. Hey, Dangerous! You not only are resubscribed, but you're green. Oh, and hey, Taz, and hey, Here and After. All right. This just so proves, and thank you, Judge Grope, for actually standing on business and not being what the judicial system is turning into, a joke. The language of 57-105 is mandatory when it comes to awarding attorney's fees as a sanction for the filing of a frivolous, baseless action. The court finds it's appropriate to assess defendant's attorney's fees against plaintiff Michelle Preston, her then attorney, Scott Stark, in equal shares for the filing of a frivolous complaint that they know or should have known or no legal factual basis on which to proceed. Here's my question, though. This is my only question, and I have no idea how this works in Florida, so will someone in Florida tell me? Now that Stark is rest in peace, I don't have to like you to tell you to rest in peace. Does it go to his estate? So basically his wife, who's most likely in charge of his estate, have to pay that. Or does it? Yeah. Okay. His estate. That's what I thought, but that's what I thought because that's what makes the most logical sense. However, as we've known, what always is logical isn't always what happens because, you know, yeah, that's what I thanks. That's what I thought. Everybody's kind of in agreement that it goes to his estate. That's what I thought. But once again, I don't claim to be an expert in Florida law because one, I'm not a lawyer, and two, I don't live in Florida. So, I did yesterday. The stream was yesterday so it's already up. We will be doing another one though on it when the preliminary report comes out because I have some more thoughts, and I was sent an interview with the with one of the passengers. So we will see how that goes. But yesterday was the stream with. So if you didn't hear, or if you weren't here yesterday we did a stream on the LaGuardia CRJ 900 from Air Canada versus the fire truck. And we listened to the audio, kind of did a little route mapping through LaGuardia where everything was in relation to the runways, as well as listened to and watched both the first and second NTSB press conferences. So yeah, I'm not shocked by that. Not shocked by that at all. That right there, because anything that goes on in Levy County is not logical or common sense. Yeah, that kind of does it. And then Taz, thanks for the 5 gifted Squid Pro Quo memberships. We're just turning that chat green today. Need to make sure my other channel. Yeah. Hey Stacy, how are you? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know the feeling. Brain damage is no joke. I have well, it's never going to get well. I have had 2 skull fractures, 3 major head injuries, and a Chiari malformation with a surgically repaired graft on my brain. So, yeah. And Lynn Britton, thanks for being a member for 15 months. Stopping by to show love. We'll have to catch the replay. Have a good rest of your day. And to all replay crew, please hit that like button and share this out because my channel's taken some weird ups and downs lately based on changing content and schedules. So if y'all could help me out, that would be really appreciated. Someday I would like to make it to 5K. Maybe. All right. So conclusions of law. Defendants are entitled to their reasonable attorney's fees pursuant to 57-105 to be assessed against the plaintiff and her then counsel, Stark, in equal shares. Once the plaintiff's stay in bankruptcy is lifted, defendants shall schedule a hearing before this court to establish the amount of reasonable attorney's fees to which defendants are entitled pursuant to 57-105. I did see somebody say numbers this morning. I am not going to repeat those numbers because as much as as I want to believe that person, numbers aren't exactly, the judge said right here that he will schedule a hearing for numbers. So there's a good possibility that those numbers are close to accurate because that person knows how much they spent. However, I'm not going to repeat those numbers because it is what it is. Like, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. So, yeah, all right. Hey, Freckled, how are you? Freckled, my resident rage quitter is here. All right. Oh, my bad. All caps. You're fine. All caps don't distract me, and all caps don't do anything for the algorithm. All right. So now we have a couple of documents from the bankruptcy. So we're going to start with the first one. And I'm sure y'all have seen these. I think Shizzy talked about these. I'm sure Megan and Tug talked about these. And the Ohio court awarded $14,000 in attorney's fees. Somebody's going to be in debt for a long time. Okay, the numbers were from the Ohio ruling, but alleged. We have not seen anything official. Yeah. I would like to say that he was responsible and had liability insurance. However, something tells me that he was skimming by to make ends meet, and something tells me that he didn't. Let's put it that way. All right, so for some $14,000 for someone on disability and welfare is going to be indigent reduced. Yeah, it's I don't think Jeremy's ever going to see any money. Let's put it that way. Not that I don't think he doesn't deserve it, and not that I think the court, but you can't take from someone who doesn't have anything. It's very hard to take things from someone who doesn't have anything. Think about that for a second. It's very hard to take from someone. Hence why certain people, even though I would like to sue them for defamation for calling me a felon, I will never sue her because she has nothing. I mean, 2 different banks are fighting over Lips's property right now because she not only defaulted on the actual mortgage, but they defaulted on the home equity line of credit too. So, like, yeah, more liens on her property, but like, yeah. All right. Chapter 7's trustees joined her in objection to debtor's claim of homestead exemption. Comes down to Teresa Bender, Chapter 7 trustee. An applicable Florida law herein joins, adopts, and incorporates by reference the objection to debtor's claim of exemptions regarding the homestead, filed by Jeremy Hales, and states the trustee joins the objection solely on the ground that debtor's claimed homestead exceeds the constitutional size limitation for property located within a municipality under Article 10, Section 4 of the Florida Constitution. That pesky Constitution. As set forth in the objection, debtor has commenced this Chapter 7 case on July 8th, 2025. The debtor scheduled a 50% interest in real property as exempt homestead on Schedule C, and real property with that address within a municipality, town of Otter Creek, and is listed at approximately 1.66 acres. Based on those facts, the objection asserts that the property is not legally exempt as homestead. And I love this, and this is the reason why. This has nothing to do with Jeremy. This has nothing to do with anyone's feelings. This has nothing to do with defamation claims or any other lawsuit. This solely has to do with the paperwork and the Constitution and whether they go together. This is one of the reasons that, like, this document right here, even though I'm not fully versed in the homestead exemption in Florida, this person has no skin in the game. This person was not personally affected by Lynette. This trustee is solely doing her job. The trustee adopts these factual assertions and objects to debtor's claim of homestead exemption to the extent the parcel exceeds the constitutional acreage limitation applicable to municipal homesteads. And this is the thing. If her lawyer would have been doing his job and would have been able to tell his ass from a hole in the ground, he would have stopped her from doing this. Just saying. The trustee seeks disallowance of the exemption beyond the constitutionally protected portion with only the extent permitted under Article 10, Section 4 of the Florida Constitution to be allowed, and the balance to be administered for the benefit of the estate. Wherefore, the trustee respectfully requests the court sustain this joinder, sustain the objection, and disallow the debtor's claim of homestead exemption to the extent the parcel exceeds the constitutional size limit for property within a municipality under Article 10, Section 4, and grant such other further relief as just and proper. It's all about the law and the Constitution, not personal, not emotional. And that's one of the reasons that I like it. Because I don't like when people go, well, it's just this, or no, it's the law. Like, it has nothing to do with how I feel. It's not the interpretation of a judge. It's not the interpretation of a jury. It's pretty damn clear that this is the acreage limit and you exceeded it. We don't have to argue about anything. And Selena Crosby, thanks for becoming a new member. I appreciate you very, very much. There we go. And then this was the document that was filed last night or yesterday. If my computer will cooperate. Technology has not been cooperative lately. And there is one more document. It's the amended E and F. But I wanted to do that one last because of the fact that it's an amended E and F. I have the original E and F statements, and I wanted to compare the two. So none of the LMNOP's lawyers have done anything to protect their client. Instead, he made 99% fine. Yeah, it's just so bizarre because the job of a lawyer is to protect your client and protect them from doing something stupid, making stupid mistakes, because all of these documents are very difficult to fill out. I mean, if you've ever filled out government documents on anything, you're like, this is confusing. I don't know how to do it. There's a reason, like, we have people file taxes for us because it is a very complicated and confusing process. That being said, when you hire somebody to do a job, you expect them to do it to the best of their ability. And I don't think that's what's happening here. Deuce appears to use social media to drum up business for himself. Like, it's just stupid. Yeah, it's so, like, oh my goodness. And hey, Christine, how are you? Oh my goodness. Okay, I just got a text message. I just wanted to see what it was real quick, see if it was important. But it's yeah, it's one of my clients. Wonder who decides if she keeps or what part she can keep, or if half of that belongs only to Juicy. I don't know. All right, so this was filed last night by Saran Wrap. And usually I don't like to call people names, but like, dude, and I only call people names if they've like personally done something to me, like Lips, Bubbles, Bubble Brain, Beelzebubbles, whatever you want to call him. I can't take credit for the Beelzebubbles. That was Rizilla's realm. I just thought it was hilarious. And Fleesa, or Thunder Cow 1. However, this dude, I have nothing good to say about this dude because, like, you should have either not taken this case or been like, hey, that bankruptcy is a really bad idea. But nope, people see money. And I believe he saw money and decided that, oh, I see money. We're going to go with that. All right. unless Levy County gives her an exception, she can't keep any. Well, here's the thing. Like, bankruptcy, though, is meant to help people get out of debt. It is not meant to leave people homeless. And yes, we can have the argument all day. I know there's no actual home on there, but like, it is not, if you take away that piece of property, she is homeless, like completely homeless. So, like, that's not the point of bankruptcy. So, I'm not really sure how that's going to work out. But the point of bankruptcy is to get out of debt, not to take everything you've ever had in your life and leave you homeless. So, I'm wondering how this is going to work because they are living on a property with no permanent structure. However, it is one of those situations where the point of bankruptcy is not to leave anybody homeless. So it's yeah. And hey, Buck, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long time either. Where you been at? All right. That's just it. The property is her home. If you think Florida's going to kick her out on the street, you have. I'm just saying. Yeah, and I can see where you're coming from with that because it's one of those situations that's like, I'm not sure how, I don't know how that's going to work. But that's not the entire point of the bankruptcy. I understand why people are like, get her out of there, take everything she has. I get it. But this is where we have to think logically what a bankruptcy is for. And I know y'all can argue with me all day. She used the bankruptcy as a delay tactic. I get it. But at the end of the day, a bankruptcy is to help you repay and get out of your debt and reconcile your debt. It's not to leave you homeless. So I'm not sure how that is going to work. We shall see. All right, but certificate of serving order denying debtor's motion to enforce the automatic stay and for damages. Just like, no. I personally think the bankruptcy court will dismiss the bankruptcy in the end. Maybe. I get it. And I totally understand that all consequences have actions, but we have to go back to what the definition of a bankruptcy is, taking all of our emotions and how we feel about things out of it. Taking all of our emotions and what we think and what we want and the revenge that most people want out of it and look at what the definition of a bankruptcy actually is and what it's used for. Not what it's used for here, which I believe is a delay tactic. However, what it's used for as a whole. So, hey, Magic Angel, how are you? I certify the true and correct copy of the true and correct. And he writes like this. He writes like if Bruce and Lynette had a baby. Get that mental picture in your head for a second. That's how this dude writes. I hereby certify that a true and correct copy of the true and correct copy of the order denying debtor's motion to enforce the automatic stay was served on March 26th via electronic mail. I also certify that on March 26th, I served a copy of said document by first-class mail, postage prepaid upon the parties listed on the manual service. All of those people. Like, he writes so ridiculously. I think this should have ended all. I think this shit never should have started. But, like, it should have been a cease and desist. And it should have been like, oh shit, if we don't fuck up, or if we fuck up, he's going to sue us. And we should have been like, well, we don't have the money for this. So we will just not do this. And, yeah. You know, so that is that fun time. what I did want to get to is this. So we do have the amended Schedule E and F forms. Creditors who have unsecured claims. And I'm just going to look at this to make sure that I don't need to redact anything before I show it. because I did just open this up at the last possible second. And I try not to be a dick. Sometimes it happens. And I am petty, but I'm also try not to be just evil, because I just try not to go out of my way to be a dick. Think about that and try to sleep at night. I think I just gave 212 people insomnia. My bad. I'm just redacting the addresses for some people. So, and we're just gonna, even though that's a thing, just to make sure, because I don't want my address shown, so I'm just not going to do it to anybody else on purpose. Sometimes it happens accidentally and I scroll by it as quick as I can, but I don't go out of my way to be a dick. Even though sometimes it's very tempting. And Edie, how are you? Where have you been? I haven't seen a bunch of you. Welcome back. Oh, my petty side almost said something. Welcome back. It would be nice if y'all could join me for other stuff, you know. I've covered a bunch of stuff in the past 2 weeks that aren't this. And I'm just being extra thorough with this one because just extra thorough. I would rather be extra thorough. So Lisa Lee, Fleabag. You dum-dums. You realize when you add your name as a creditor, your address and phone number are now on here. I did redact them, but like just as a thing, your phone number and your email are now on this document with do not contact anybody. However, it is just a thing. Okay, we're only showing towards that because I'm not going to yeah, they're like lifelong grifters. Heck, we had to hire a PI to even find this stream. We've been looking for you, but you're harder to find than a PC to see. Well, you know, like, you know, 3 levels of petty. One petty, calling out BS. 2, super petty, singling you out by name, and calling you out personally, BS. Evilly petty, no holds barred, outing every bad decision and info you've ever made in your life. Yeah. Yeah, this right here. The court's goals are not to reduce people to indigency, even though they're like that to start with. So, and thank you, Gail. I'm gonna pin that comment. Can one of the mods post my second channel? I know that Heidel did it at the very beginning of the stream, but I lost it. I forgot to pin it. So I did have my second channel. I have a second channel, guys. It has nothing to do anything legal. And I'm hoping to get that channel monetized sometime this year. Because that is my heart, soul, my baby. That is my career. So we are just going to get that one up and running. Every Sunday night, right after Jeremy Hales at 9 o'clock, we do a live stream. So, yes, it's not squid. Yes. All right, let's get into this one and bring up I have side by side, and this is where it's going to get a little not confusing. That is not the right word for it, but we are going to bring up document 15, which is the original Schedule E and F forms, and the current E and F forms. And I just want to see if anything changed besides adding flea bags as a creditor. So welcome to my computer. Welcome to the crazy that is my life. So these are the two side by side. So all right, Squid, I'll let the old farts in the weight room know about your channel. They need to help all they can get with moving around. Yeah, and I will be adding, especially since the little is now registered and officially enrolled in school for the fall. So I will be doing more after that. So I will definitely. I'm going to start with movement minutes again on Tuesdays. Now that I have to actually go somewhere on Tuesdays to work with clients, that I will actually be able to film in a gym. So it will be a little bit easier to film if she lets me film in her gym when no one's there. So we'll see. The owner of my gym is freaking amazing, and I love her. And she's I love her for taking a chance on me. So here is, and let's do this. Okay, that makes it a little bit better. All right, this on the left is the current amended one that was filed on 3/24. This is the one that was filed on July 8th. So there is more debtors or more creditors. However, we're going to see if anything else changed. This is the first time that I am doing this side by side, is with you guys. I have not compared these documents side by side yet, because, life, 2 jobs, 2 channels, my own stuff that I'm working towards, and being a full-time stay-at-home mom. So I'm a little busy. All right. So do any creditors have unsecured claims? No. And this isn't the one that has all the stuff, like all of her personal items. So let's see. So part 2 is, yes, Chase Bank. I didn't bother to do Chase Bank's address because they're a bank. Like, if you can look them up. I'm just seeing if anything has changed. 4.3, Cricket. DNOS. She added Brett Granger. Lawsuit claim. Okay, so it looks like she's adding the stuff from the thumbnail case. But Brett wasn't on here before and is now. So, Brett Granger. All the changes are in the attachments. Not necessarily. Well, yes, but there's all they have is the creditors and addresses listed. And if I were to go through and if I were to go through and list or look at everything, I'd have to redact it, almost all of it. Brett was trespass 5. The bittersweet side could be they lose the child to the child's family due to homelessness. I'm thinking that, and this all goes back to and we forget that this all goes back to the child. And yes, we want to see people get consequences, but remember, if they lose everything, they still have custody of that child. Whether they should or not is not the question at the very second. But what is the question right now is what is the question is if they lose everything, what happens to the child? And remember, that's not supposed to happen. Like, the point of a bankruptcy is to settle your debts, not become indigent, even if you were indigent to start with. I understand that everybody wants what they want. I get that everybody wants revenge. I get that. But this is where you have to take your emotions out of it and remember what the point of bankruptcy is actually for, is to get people out of debt. I understand, but this is where you will not see me get emotionally involved, because that makes me biased automatically. And yes, the facts are obviously on one person's side, but the point of a bankruptcy is not to make someone homeless. I know people who have personally filed for bankruptcy. The point of bankruptcy is to settle your debts. You can Google it, point of bankruptcy. Not to take everything that someone has and leave them with nothing. And yes, there will be some assets that will be liquidated, but once again, it will not be leave them homeless with nothing. So it's like, y'all, and that's a question that I was having, because she added possible lawsuit claim, liquidated, disputed. But like, it's just it doesn't make a lot of sense why you would add them when that was something that's not been settled yet. That won't be settled until after the bankruptcy. This is where it's like they're trying to underhand, in my opinion, based on my limited knowledge, but they're trying to underhand. And the judge literally said in those Levy County documents that they will not be settled until after the bankruptcy. So she's trying to put them in, because she added Tat too. So and Taz, I get that, but that's not the point. You're still missing the point, which happens half the time anyway. I say something and half the people that are in chat miss the point and want to argue about, well, it's not a home. Right now, they are living on that home. Yes, there's no permanent structure, but that is their home. And the point of a bankruptcy is not to leave someone homeless. I'm not sure how that's going to work. And I even said that. But that the point of a bankruptcy is not to leave someone homeless and without any possessions. Yeah, she's adding the cases what she might make against the others once the Levy County is done. The thing is, like, she can't do that, though, in my opinion. Like I said, not a lawyer, but I don't think she can do that because it's not settled yet, and you can't do an unsettled, like, you can't, you just can't, you can't. Like, you can't. Like, lawsuit claim against debtor, defendants, Jeremy Hales, Tam Reeves, Larry, and Martha Frith. Like, they're living, well, for one, um, she does, yeah, they might be living there illegally, but she owns the land. So I get it. I get it. I get what you're saying. And that's the thing. Like, I get there's also a difference between what I think should happen based on my emotions and what the point of bankruptcy is. And if you've never filed for bankruptcy, like, you don't know. It's just it's putting the cart, yeah, she's putting the cart before the horse. It's like courts don't deal with hypotheticals. It's, yeah, yeah, yes, and it's just, and this is where not having the permits really messed her up, because if she was in the process of a build, that would be a different case. But remember, like, yes, bankruptcy is a word and not as a feeling. Like, yes, it's, but it's like, y'all, like, we get too emotionally invested in this. Once, at the end of the day, yes, we want consequences for actions, but remember what the point of a bankruptcy is. It's just, you're right. It doesn't work like that. You can't use pending money to pay down your debts. There's no guarantee she's going to have any bankruptcy. Yeah, and all the judge would have to do is look at the documents that have been filed. All Randy has, or any lawyer has to do, is put the documents from the judge in Levy County into this record and be like, she's not winning any of that. Like, she has sanctions against her. Like, she's paying attorney's fees. Like, you're not winning. And you can't claim the attorney's fees because the attorney's fees, the judge even said, will not be settled until after the bankruptcy is settled. If the judge had settled the debt July 5th and she filed for bankruptcy July 7th, like, then yeah, you could possibly claim that. But I still think you can't discharge a legal debt in most states. At least in the states where I know people who have filed for bankruptcy, you cannot file legal debt. Even divorce stuff cannot be settled. But seems JH and G are on the quote, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Yeah, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that people don't have a point. We're just trying to focus on not getting emotionally involved, because people tend to get super emotional and they lose critical thinking skills when emotion is involved. We had this conversation yesterday as to why things with the LaGuardia incident are happening the way they're happening, and why the NTSB, when we were watching some of the hearing or some of the press conferences, were saying the things they were saying. It's like, well, you might think you know what happened based on your emotions and things like that. However, you can't do anything until all the facts are in. We might think we know, but there's a difference between what we know and what we can prove. Remember. So, if LMNOP would have told the truth about the fleet keeping her money, it would have went way better on her. You can't lie in bankruptcy about money and things you have. Yeah. That's the other thing that I don't understand with this. That was the other thing that didn't make sense to me. And this is the other thing. I don't this is the other one. I don't understand how equitable claims for household expenses. That's not a debt. That's basic living expenses. That's another thing. Hey, almost boomer. I don't think this is going to end till 2028. At least. 2028. So, Martha Risk. And like I said, this is the first time that I'm actually comparing these two documents side by side because I haven't had the time. So, the camper is still, and the camper gets me too because they didn't get the camper until after she filed for bankruptcy. Randy, the attorney's fees claims, you can't, like, the fact that this was filed, your lawyer either has to be extremely fucking stupid or you didn't tell him you were doing this. Hi, Heather. Yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms that we don't have the time and I don't have the blood pressure medication to get into. Being a healthcare worker, hygiene with certain things, that is I don't think it will ever end unless I'm a prisoner in the ground. Yeah, and we've had the how do I put this? We've had discussions on why I don't think it will ever end. That I just don't. There's also been disputes about that. I don't. There's so many things that, like, when you read this and you're like, you're telling the court one thing, but you're saying other things when you make books long posts. And I haven't read every one of them because at the end of the day, I don't care if Lynette is pissed that people are talking about her on the internet. Fucking deal with it. You made yourself into a spectacle and this is what you get. It's, yeah, the backstabbing and input from all the outside sources, all of them. It's, and there are just certain times when I think everybody involved, even Jeremy, should just not talk. Like, there's just certain things you shouldn't talk about because as I've said multiple times before, these dumb fucks know that they get under Jeremy's skin. They do. And they say things because they know they get under his skin. Whether he believes that they get under his skin or not, I'm telling you, having seen things and been the level of petty that I am, I say things to know because I get under people's skin. And when I know that I get under someone's skin with something, I will keep picking at that wound because I know I can get to you. And I pick and I pick and I pick and I pick. Like Lips, she's never actually come into any stream of mine. She's never commented on any video, but yet one of her alt accounts all of a sudden starts posting on my freaking thing because guess what? I picked enough where she decided to to have an outburst. And I thought it was fucking hilarious. And now I know exactly what gets under her skin. And not that I wasn't before, but like when you have an outburst of any kind, people start to know what gets under your skin. And if you're like me and you're a little bitch, you pick. And it's one of the reasons that I can see the flea bags and the what the Hales side playbook is because one, they're basic bitches. Like if they were skinny, they would have Uggs and a Starbucks. Just saying. However, I also can see that playbook because at the end of the day, if I let my bitchy side come out, I am just as bad as they are. I have morals though, so I keep it down and I keep it suppressed. But if I really wanted to be a bitch and I let my bitch side come out, I am just like that, if not worse, because I find something that someone picks at, or I know it gets under someone's skin and I pick until they have an outburst and then they look like the fucking morons. So, you know, I just, they don't give out strong enough meds for me to be able to ever be involved in something like this. Nope. Nope. Good. But I'm just saying there's just certain things that, like, they know that they get under his skin and they keep doing it. And he keeps talking about them. And when he keeps talking about them, he gives them attention, which is exactly what they want, because they have no content of their own. They can't come up with anything on their own. That's why they stream so late at night, because they have to wait for everybody else to be done with their streams so they have something to talk about. Because they have nothing. If they were to stream at like 8 o'clock in the morning, they wouldn't know what the fuck to do, because they have nothing to talk about. So it's one of those situations where you give them attention. It's what they want, because all these people hate watching and like posting their things. It's like they don't care about the quality of their content. They don't care about doing things on their own. They care about the clicks and the views, because at the end of the day, the clicks and the views are what gets them money. And that's all they care about. We've known all Fleeca cares about is money. She doesn't care about anybody but herself and money. Bubbles only cares about himself. So when all of these people, they don't care about getting information right. They don't care about the law. Like, they don't care. All they care is the fact that their names keep getting mentioned, because that keeps getting them views, which keeps getting them money. That's all they care about. So I'm convinced if everybody went 2 weeks, didn't hate watch, didn't mention their names, didn't say anything about any of what's going on with them, they would go broke. Because they have nothing else. I'm just saying. Like, that, and to brag about who they hurt that day. That's true. I don't know. I don't actually watch, because I'm the type of person where if I don't like somebody, I will just scroll on by or not give them the view. I'm not going to watch just to hate watch and talk shit later or whatever. It's just, it does, but he has enough. Like, I know somebody with like hundreds of gigs of data that you don't need anymore. You have enough. It just, you have to get to the point in cases for it to be presented. But that child is money in her bank account. That's all. Well, yeah, I'm not even talking about Lynette. I'm talking about everybody with a YouTube channel that people actually like watch and talk about. So it's just would 2 weeks of not watching the Fleas disrupt their algorithm? Possibly, because it disrupted mine. 2 weeks of not talking about this case. I don't talk about this case when there's nothing to talk about. Like, I'm not just going to do a stream to talk about this case when I have no new documents or no new information, which is what I feel like certain channels on the Hales, the anti-what the Hales side, they only talk about, like, they have nothing else. Whereas I talked about, we have a new case to talk about Tuesday. We have a case of a woman who stuffed her $2, allegedly stuffed her $2 in a suitcase in Ohio. So like, it's a Sarah Boone just for kids. So they have to keep grifting somehow, and the only way that they can grift is to keep their names in everybody's mouths. Just don't watch. But not talking about this case and having people who only watch me for this case and not for anything else. Yeah, my algorithm, like, it totally screwed up my viewership and losing subscribers, and YouTube unsubscribes people and all that fun shit. So it's if you didn't watch them for 2 weeks, I wonder what their views would look like if only I watched it so you didn't have to, would watch them, and nobody else from the Hales side would watch them. They would lose money because right now they're making money off the fact that people watch them to see what stupid shit they're gonna say. Like, like I just I it, like, I'm just being honest. Like, people watch just to see what stupid shit they're gonna say. People on the anti what the Hale side watch what the Hales people to see what shit they can do, what shit that will be said over there so that they can talk about it. And people from the Hale side watch the anti what the Hale say to see what stupid shit they're gonna say that they can talk about on their side. It's like if everybody just didn't watch who they didn't like or just kept on scrolling, like, life would be a lot more peaceful for a lot of people. But unfortunately, that's not the way life works. Oh, thank you. They are just basic. I mean, they're literally basic ass blue light glasses to hopefully prevent headaches. My vision is not needing a lot of correction, but you can thank Ninja Puppy for these. So it's I just can't do it because I know that I don't have the greatest voice. I get it. I am Southern Youper. Sometimes I sound like a redneck. Sometimes I sound like I'm from the UP. And I know that all the time it isn't the greatest voice to listen to. I get it. But something about Fleabag's voice, maybe it's because she talked about my kid choking and she laughed about it like it was some kind of fucking joke. That her voice to me just makes my blood pressure rise because, like, it makes me want to go into mama bear mode. And if you know me and you know me when I go into mama bear mode, that's not safe for anybody. Not safe for anybody. It's just one of them situations where it's like I just can't can't. Yeah, they just repeat and repeat and repeat. And also, Gail knows me more than a lot of people. I get bored easily with the same repeated shit over and over again. That's why I have to talk about different stuff on my channel, is because if I just talk about one topic all the time, things start to repeat themselves. And even when I have to repeat myself, I get annoyed with myself that I'm having to, like, talk about this again. And it's like, ugh. It's like, I just. You can collect an ex-spouse's Social Security, especially if they're deceased. Must meet some specifics. Wonder if LMNOP is collecting. Maybe. No. Mr. Squid calms my ass down. You think that I'm sassy now? You should see when I don't have Mr. Squid as a filter. it's bad. And Lori, I do know you were right, because I do know someone specifically who collects they're a widow, so they collect their spouse's Social Security. So this is one of the things that makes this case fascinating to me, is this case reminds me of a microcosm of greater society. One side will people will repeat information over and over and over again with no facts and no receipts to back up their information. And if you say it over and over again, especially if you get on the internet and say it, people believe you. It's like, no, that's why we show facts here, because, like, I admit that I'm not the smartest person in the room. I mean, I am now because I'm the only person in the room. But at the same time, like, we show receipts, because information without receipts is just an opinion. And every opinion tends to suck. So, Squid is starting to get annoyed. If you've looked at the petty chat rules, Squid wakes up annoyed with certain shit. But I'm having a good day. Like, it's been a good day since the very start. So it's a good Friday. But it's like this is something as simple as this. This is what I don't understand right here. Sally Beauty. You mean you have a credit card for that you can't even pay $100 balance on? And who the hell has a Sally Beauty credit card anyway? I'm a widow and collect spousal. Must have been married for over 10 years and be over 15 on SSDI himself. Not necessarily this last part. Maybe I'll have to ask the person who I know is capable of getting. I know that they're capable of getting spousal support. I don't know if they are. Oh yeah, that one right there. I know. Spousal can't be remarried. But the on Social Security disability yourself, I don't think that one's necessarily 100% accurate. Yeah, hair dye. Hair dye, and she probably it's probably the hair dye she had when she showed up to court. Just saying. I can only watch about 5 to 10 minutes of them 1 to 2 times a week for about because I can't deal with their voices, nails on a chalkboard. Yeah. Every Friday is a good Friday. It's not a holiday Good Friday. Once again, living beyond their means. Yeah. It's hey, Sticky from Munich. You're in Munich? Wait, have you always been in Munich or are you on vacation? Like, spousal with children may be different. I don't have children with the spousal. My person that I know has children, and her ex had children, or her husband had children, but not children together. So I have to ask. My point was she only married him because she wanted the money. Once she found a different source of income, she divorced him. Possibly. Yeah, right here. This right here. That right there. So, and she put Willis on here. So she put everybody for the trespass 5 right here, and the trespass 5 and the thumbnail case. But this is the thing. That would I think Gail said it, or somebody said it earlier. Tasha said it. How is Tat a creditor when he wasn't even served? So it's just a thing. So it's just there's just some things that just don't add up with this. But Lisa Lee is on here as a creditor. I just can't. Like, I just can't, you know? There's just some things that you're like, what? And Sticky Widget, thanks for being a member for 13 months. Hello from Munich. Unless spouse died while you were married, it's 10 years. Oh, yeah, they died when they died when they were married. I get SSD, but wasn't married 10 years, so I can't get on his. I'll be getting a great SSD check if it wasn't for the damn 10 years. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just yep, no flea show for me. If I watched it, so you didn't have to, and Jay are accurate enough. Yeah, no, and I love Jay. I just can't even do flea caps because I'm like, makes you want to beat your head up against a wall. Like, it just how no. And that's nothing personal against Jay. That's just the topic at hand makes me want to, like, you know, run my head into a brick wall. Like, maybe it'll get rid of my memories from having to ever hear their voices, like, or hear what they talk about. But what's one of the other reasons that I tend to stay a little bit more neutral and shit, because I literally can't stand a lot of people. So I just do what the judge. I'm not acting as the judge, but I'm trying to go mostly, if not 100%, based on only what the judge sees. Because if I only pay attention to what the judge sees, we know what the court is seeing versus what the rest of the world is seeing. Because the court only cares about what's in the documents. The court really does not give a flying rat's backside about what happens on YouTube. Like we've talked about this with the federal cases. The judge really does not care about anything that has to do with the federal cases. However, that's all I got for you today. I kind of like to keep these a little shorter because it's easier on replay crew. Also, it's just easier on my mental status and my blood pressure to talk about this case. Yes, the topic of the flea cat requires a mixed drink or two. All right, so I don't have anything tonight. Just remember, if you do want to hang out with me in chat, I will be on at FNL. I'm not on FNL. Expert has yet to ever send me a link to that. You can get mad at him for that. However, Sunday night, 9 p.m., my other channel is linked in the top of the chat. We will be going over chronic pain again. This will be a women-focused stream, chronic pain and women's hormones more than most. Snipe, I expect you to be there, even though obviously not a woman. However, there will be some things coming up on that channel, including restarting the Pain Chronicles. I am talking to a couple of people who have chronic illnesses who are willing to share their stories, specifically not their diagnoses, but more the impact of having chronic illness and dealing with medical professionals, being gaslit by medical professionals and telling you you're faking your diagnosis and all of this. So that is what happened to me. That is what my experience was. So the goal is with that series to let people know that you are not alone, and the gaslighting is real. It's not it's not just you and one doctor, it's society wide. But in order to fix the problem, we have to let our healthcare system know that there is a problem. So I'll see you guys Sunday night. I'll see about, I'm not sure if I'm going to do recorded videos with that to make my guests feel more comfortable, or if we're going to do live streams. It's all up to them. However, when I know and we get something figured out, I will let you guys know. But y'all have a great rest of your day. Sniper, great. Make it an SNL FNL. Yep. All right. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Let's see if there's anywhere I can send you on YouTube. I know that Shizzy and Mo aren't streaming until later on tonight. But we will see if there's anybody who's live right now that we can go to. Oh, come on. And all right. So Shizzy has the Courtroom and Chaos stream set up. So I am sending you guys over there. Go give them a like and tell them you'll be back when they start. If not, I will see you over there too. I'm almost caught up. I have two options. If she loses the property, move the camper to a camper lot, or rent an apartment. Yep. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I have us redirected. It doesn't start till 8 p.m., but they have the stream set up. So go over there and give them a like. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you Sunday night over on Evidence Through Motion. Bye, guys.